Hello there! Today we're talking about how I made this Star Wars Detolf riser. So as you can see, I have my Detolf on this custom box I have made. Its only purpose is to look cool and to raise up the Detolf so you don't have to get all the way on the ground to see the bottom shelf. When I first put the Detolf in my room, I didn't like how low it was. The bottom shelf was just really hard to see. You basically had to get down on the ground to look at it. But now you can stand and still see it pretty clear. So all this box is some 2x4s, some MDF panels, an acrylic panel here for the where the light comes through, and then a Philips Hue LED strip. You don't have to use Philips Hue. I use Philips Hue just so I could control the colors, and all the other lights in the room are Philips Hue, so it just made sense. So yeah, I'll put up some pictures on the screen and just talk through the entire build process and what I did. So to start, I bought some 2x4s, some MDF sheets, and an acrylic panel. And then I had planned on cutting out the slots in the first MDF panel for the Death Star wall lights, and using a circular saw and a jigsaw. But then one of my co-workers reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have a CNC machine, and I can make that for you." So I sent him all the MDF panels and drew out the pattern of the Death Star lights that I wanted, and he cut them out for me on his CNC. And so this picture here is the picture he sent me after he just cut it out. So once I got the MDF panels back from my coworker, I started to prep them for paint. So with MDF, you can't just strictly start painting it. It will, the grain will rise and it will look not like a smooth finish. If you wanted a hairy, fuzzy finish, then sure, you could just paint it. But MDF soaks up all the paint and the grain starts to rise. So what I did first was put some coats of sealing primer on it, sanded that down, put some more coats of sealing primer, sanded that down till it was smooth. And basically the sealing primer will soak into the MDF and prevents the paint, once you actually get to your paint stage, from soaking into the MDF. So the reason you sand it in between is because of the grain. So after a few cycles of that, it's finally ready to paint. And I painted it, I believe it's called Black Walnut. I have to find I don't remember what the exact paint color was. I used it all. But it's not black and it's not entirely brown. It's like a mix between the two, which matches a lot of the furniture I have in my office. So I painted those, and while they were drying, I started to assemble the frame, the actual structure of the box. To do this, I just cut the 2x4s to size. I had a specific size I wanted for this. I believe it's about 15 inches off the ground, and I just sized it to where it could fit the base of the Detolf. And I just put those together with 2x4s and wood glue. Once everything was dry, I glued the sides of the MDF sides, top, back, and bottom to the frame. And then for the front, I wanted to be able to get into it in case the LEDs ever went out or something of that nature. So I attached Velcro to the front panel and Velcro to the front face of the 2x4 frame, and that lets me take the front panel on and off. And then after that, I put in Philips Hue LED strip, and I basically just wrapped it around the front 2x4 frame and cut a hole through the back to run the cable through, and that was it. Then it was ready to plug in, give it a test out. Once I made sure everything was working, I put it into place and set the Detolf on top of it. If you do this, I highly recommend 2 people, because lifting a glass case by yourself is not recommended. I had a friend come over to help me, and yeah, don't do that by yourself. Anyways, that's how I built my Star Wars Detolf riser. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you like this video and enjoy my Star Wars content, make sure to check back, and may the Force be with you.